Excuse me just while where to start? I suppose I'm a minister in the Foreign Office, and I spend much of my time looking after the Middle East and Africa. And there, one of the major challenges we have is dealing with extremism, is dealing with poisonous ideology of the religion of Islam being hijacked and extremists providing a promise to youngsters who don't really understand the religion and offering them a fast track to paradise if they conduct themselves in the extreme way that we see. And I work very hard with our international allies on trying to understand this new threat, this asymmetric warfare that we see. And that's all usually a long way away. And so when this thing happened in Westminster, it was just a reminder of how much work we have to do across the piece in challenging this, what I believe is probably the most serious threat in the 21st century, this unconditional challenge that we actually have. And we all need to work harder for that. But sometimes we fail. Sometimes these people are committed to doing something absolutely appalling. And we saw that on the 22nd of March. I know my colleague Brendan Lewis will be talking a bit more about the government response itself. I reacted in the way that I thought appropriate, and I was one of many that stepped forward to do what we thought was right. I come from an army background, and there is a fraternity there where we look after each other, where there is a sense of bond and understanding and friendship, and that whenever a individual soldier, sailor, airman, or battalion or regiment goes into harm's way, we think about them, we care for them, and we are anxious for their safety and what they're doing as they conduct their duties. And I think what came home to me after the Westminster incident was just how close-knit your fraternity is, and just how, as was mentioned in that clip there, you don't know what's around the corner. You really don't. And yet every day you put your uniform on and you stand in harm's way so we can continue our work. And that for me really came home with all the messages of thanks that I got from across Britain and indeed wider afield, of all saying, I don't know who you are, but it was one of us that you went to help, and we very much appreciate that. And I'm just sorry I couldn't, and those others with me couldn't do more to save Keith Palmer's life. But we owe you such a debt of gratitude for what you do day in and day out. And it's very humbling for me to receive this award. I went to the funeral as well, and our thoughts and prayers are very much with the friends and family and you, the colleagues of PC Keith Palmer. He was also part of our community in Parliament as well. He had been working there many, many years. And day in, day out, we saw him, and he works with his other colleagues. We were all as one. And the day after this happened, and there are tributes paid to him, quite rightly, by the Prime Minister, and indeed all parties, there was a determination that we would not allow that event to affect our way of life. And that famous phrase, "we'll keep calm and carry on," was used many, many times. I would add to that a step further. When these events occur, and tragic and rare, thankfully, though they are, we don't just carry on. It gives us an even more determination to defeat this sort of extremism in the way that we know how, to defend our values and make sure we stand up to this so the terrorist does not win. And that is something that resonated right across Westminster. Ladies and gentlemen, it's really humbling to receive this award. Thank you so much indeed. So if I may say on behalf of myself, on behalf of the Westminster fraternity, and indeed I think a very grateful nation, thanks for the work that you do day in and day out. It's not said enough, but it is appreciated. And I'm truly very, very grateful. Thank you for allowing me to share some thoughts and words today. Thank you.